Hey everybody, VR Gaming Fan here, and look what I have here. It arrived yesterday. Been doing a lot of playing around with it, and having a lot of fun. The level of immersion and intensity is just indescribable. Like I watch, actually I don't really watch horror movies, and the reason why I don't watch horror movies is because I just don't find them scary. They're a joke. I find them pathetic. Horror games generally don't impress me all that much at all. But even the simplest, like for any of you who have seen other videos of people playing the Brookhaven experiment, when you're looking at it 2D, I've watched many people playing it, it just looks pathetic, absolutely pathetic. I didn't make it to the end of Wave 1 before I yanked this thing off because I was so terrified. It was so real. It was so intense. My level of anxiety just went through the roof. I was just utter dread. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. When Sprite first put this thing on, we were just firing it up the first time, and I just had Sprite put it up to her face to tell me if anything was showing up on the display. And the tutorial started up, and in the tutorial, the furniture in the virtual environment starts dropping through the floor, and she completely flipped out. I mean, really, and like lots of other people who do VR stuff on YouTube, they say the same thing. There are no words to describe it. There's no way you can convey the way it feels to be inside one of these things. Even though the graphics don't look all that realistic in most cases, especially with these early independent games and things like that, it doesn't matter. Your brain just believes it anyway. There's some mechanism in your brain that, if this is what I see around me, then this must be what reality is. And your brain is just utterly convinced, and the excitement, the terror, the awe when you're in some grandiose environment or whatever, it's just absolutely amazing. It is awesome. For those who are planning on getting one or already have one or whatever, there are some people that complain about the comfort of these, and that it hangs too much in your face. The one thing you have to be careful of, and I made this mistake for the first 12 hours that I was using it, is they tend to cinch up this top strap too much. And so what ends up happening is, instead of this hooking on the back of your head, underneath the curvature of the back of your head, that's where this part of the strap is supposed to go, this lower part of this back strap. This whole area on the back, if I get it in front of the camera, this whole area in the back is supposed to cup around the circle part of the skull, of the back of your head, the curvature of it, so that this lower part hooks under the curvature of your skull, and that gives it the anchor point. A lot of people will cinch the straps up too tight, and what this will end up doing is shifting the strap up on your head, like shifting it forward like this. So instead of cupping the back of your head, it sits up on the top of your head, kind of like a beanie. And then you have to, because you're no longer getting that strong anchor point, you have to cinch the straps up even tighter in order to keep it on your face properly. And so you have a lot of pressure pushing on your face. It's not necessary to do all of that. If it's hooked properly on the back of your skull, you can set the straps up so it's not even using the bottom pads along the bottom of your face. It's just sort of resting on your eyebrow ridge, and it's much more comfortable when you do it that way. It's not as obvious as with the Oculus Rift, because it has the rigid straps that really can only go on one way. Because these straps are cloth and can be can move in any way, it doesn't it's not as obvious that that's what you need to do with it. So that's a very important tip. If you want this to sit comfortably, is make sure that is make this top strap here as long as possible. Like loosen up all the straps, pull them out to their maximum length, hook this back around the base of your skull, then cinch up the straps. And what I did is I had when I did the initial adjustment, I had Sprite hold it up to my face. Well, I got the straps in position. I tightened up the two side straps to where it was comfortable, and then I pulled the top strap to the point where it was the bottom part here wasn't pressing along this part of my face anymore. It sort of just moved it out, just like an eighth of an inch, just a little bit, so that it was just resting on my brow ridge. And I found that made a big difference as far as comfort goes. As far as wearing glasses in it, no problem. Sprite and I both wear glasses, and they fit inside just fine. Very comfortable. I found that myself, someone who is farsighted, I just wear reading glasses. They're not necessary. The Fresnel lenses compensate just fine, and so I have no problem seeing inside the unit without my glasses on. But Sprite is nearsighted. She needs glasses in order to see distant objects. When she first used the unit, she didn't have her glasses on, and she found she could focus just fine on near objects, but scenery in the distance was all blurry to her. She put her glasses on, put it inside the headset, and then she could see perfectly fine. So if you're wondering whether or not you're going to need to use glasses in this, and how comfortable they fit, like assuming you don't have like a really big, bulky pair of glasses, really wide frames and things like that, they fit right inside, no problem. And if you're like me, you're farsighted, and all you use your glasses for is reading glasses and things close up, you won't need them at all. If you are nearsighted, then you are going to need to use your glasses to see distant objects and scenery and such. Close-up things, you'll be able to see no problem. So if you don't care about the distance stuff being blurry, then you don't have to use your glasses. But if you want to see it all clearly, you want to do that. One thing I did with this, back when the movie Avatar first came out in theaters and it was in 3D, I saw it and I was absolutely blown away. And a lot of people like to trash that movie because it had a mediocre storyline to it. Yes, it did have a mediocre storyline to it. And if you saw it in 2D, then the storyline was all you had to carry you through the film, and it would have been a very boring experience. But for those who saw it in 3D, the jungle scenes were just amazing. They were immersive, not in a way that this is immersive, but they were immersive. They made you feel more like you were there. You can view 3D movies in VR headsets. So I got a copy of Avatar in 3D, and I watched it in this using virtual reality desktop or VR desktop, where you can customize the screen size and curvature and distance from you and everything. And so I had the screen basically perfectly set, so it just perfectly filled my peripheral vision, just completely filled my vision. And I watched it in this, and oh man, it was better than I remembered. The immersive feeling, I got chills down my spine when I was watching some of the scenes, where they're in the jungles or when they're flying on the flying creatures. Absolutely amazing. So we're just working out how best to record us when we're using VR, and then we're going to start posting videos, and maybe we'll start doing some Twitch streams or something if we get to that point. I would eventually get to the point with the green screens and the mixed reality and things like that, but that requires purchasing a new camera and green screen stuff and lights and all that stuff, and I just don't have the money for that right now. And also right now I'm focusing on just the free-to-play titles and demos and things like that that are available for this right now, because again, my budget mostly went into just getting this. So I'm going to focus on that to start with. And I mean, there are lots of demos and free titles and stuff like that that we can play around with. So that's going to keep us busy for a while, and then we'll move on to the paid games. But Sprite absolutely loves it. She was playing around in Tilt Brush. She absolutely adores Tilt Brush. She has so much fun in there. And I've been playing around with the lab software that comes with it. And as I said, I tried Brookhaven Experiment. I couldn't even make it to the end of Wave 1. I've never been so immersed in a horror environment before. It's always been just flat 2D, just a poster, a screen, a book, a picture, and it doesn't relate. Whereas experiences that outside of VR I would find boring or laughable, inside of VR are utterly enthralling, terrifying, just awe-inspiring. It is absolutely awesome. So I can't wait to get back to playing with this. And once we've got it worked out how we're going to be recording, I'll start getting some videos up for you guys to see. Can't wait. Talk to you next time.